friends, today's our topic is the difference between Tantra and the yoga. The yoga means, if you look at the yoga itself meaning is the union. The union between our individual soul and the universal soul. That realization is called yoga. Yoga means that in India is very commonly saying that इस बच्चे का और उसका योग बनता है, which means when even people they go for the marriages, people they look the astrological chart and they say, okay, these two people they have this yoga, which means they can unite. But when we talk about the yoga, here is the union of an individual soul and the universal soul. We realize it that we are beyond this materialistic world. This path is a path of nirvana, and this path is also very individual path, which is very harsh truth. In the society, this thing we are ignoring. We are like now people they are doing yoga for the physical health. That is completely fine. No doubt about it. There is a wonderful saying. One of the great Swamiji used to say that it is a side effect of the yoga that yoga can cure disease, but it is not the purpose of the yoga. So now many people they are going to practice yoga in studios, and this is wonderful thing to getting some tool. But as a traditionally it has came, the yoga is very individual path. Yoga is a path of renunciation. You have to drop all the ideas that you have learned from the school, colleges and things, and a yogi remember himself by isolating himself. As we have seen in the history, Baba Gorakhnath, Matsyendranath, or the Ram, Krishna, Muhammad, Jesus, they all once in their time when they were as a sadhak, when they started as a disciple, they started this by very individual. They went in a forest to practice yoga. They went for somewhere in a cave to practice yoga. Later on, they joined the society. But when they were into the practice, in that time they were solitude. Because yoga is a very individual path. It is not something that you can go with the 10 people and you will do meditation. It is something you have to meditate by yourself. There is a wonderful saying in the yogi we say, एक निरंजन, दो में खुश, तीन में खटपट और चार दुखी. Which means, if one person, he will live in a niranjan, which means he can completely in a bliss. Two will be happy. एक निरंजन, दो में खुश, तीन में खटपट. If the three people will be, there will be always some kind of, noise. तीन में खटपट, चार दुखी. If the four people will be, they will be sad. It's a great saying. But let's not take it serious. But in the path of yoga, it is something to live a very individual. Yoga is a path of individual. Yoga is a path of renunciation. Especially this yogic path is meant for a renunciant. Tantra is a dynamic form of the yoga. I will say much more dynamic. Because Tantra itself meaning of Tantra words came out of it, Triyoni and Triyoti, which means again the union of an individual and the universal soul. Also the other definition is the Tantra means also Triyoni and Triyoti. Some yogis also explained it, some Tantric also explains this. Expansion of the consciousness. So as a Tantric practices a different type of sadhana, which leads him to peeling the different dimension within himself. By practicing a certain sadhana, what happened? You practice a one type of sadhana, and this sadhana gives you a certain level of realization. Because what happened in our gene, we are holding a lot of karmas. We have a lot of conditioning, not just from just from this life, but also from our ancestors, which means your father, your grandfather, your uncle. All this conditioning is coming through our genetic. So with this tantric practice, a deep purification happens to our emotions, and then leads you to the beyond right and wrong perception. Because in the Tantra there is no black and white. Tantra is like very acceptance. It accepts the society. It's accept everything. It's accept the death. It's accept the life. I will say that Tantra is also a bridge in between the life and death, or devotion and the meditation. Because of course you are at the same time you are devoted to a deity, or you are devoted to certain practices where you want to some experience you want to gain, but at the same time you are within yourself, so you are in and out both. Because suppose you practice a Bhairav sadhana, or you practice certain type of Shakti sadhana, or you practice a certain type of goddess or the Yogini sadhana, so each time your realization become much more deeper inside of you, and you become you realize that something that what is your potential. Because when we live around the society and among this, and we identify ourselves that this is our limitation is, but when we practice this kind of sadhana, we understand that no, I am not limited. My consciousness is a universal consciousness. I have much more potential in me. So Tantra, with this 24 days, and sometimes you do certain kind of anusthana, what you call anusthana, which means you take the sankalpa, which means you take the resolve that I am going to work on this sadhana for 41 days or 6 months, let's say. And then every day when you dedicate yourself, a time comes when you become one with this. You become one with the deity, you become one with the universal force. You can have a different type of visualization, like as I always say that we human beings are just a descendant form of the God themselves. So again with this practice of this sadhana, again we realize that, oh, that I am also that same, I am also the God. And I have all this potential, who I am worshipping outside, I am one of them. And this realization comes by the regular practice of this sadhana. The importance is also there in the Tantra is that we must have a guru. Because a people or a practitioners can have a very dynamic form of, a very radical form of experience, which he will not be able to handle if he does by himself. So it's very important that also at the same time, if he has a guru, he must do. Something basic, of course, you can try it by yourself, nothing wrong with that. But it's good. Eventually, it will happen naturally that you will find a guru if you are doing the sadhana of this tantric sadhana. So, Tantra basically helps you to again peel up your different dimensions, and you get to know yourself that what is your strength. Tantra is beyond good and the bad. Tantra does not tell you what is good and what is bad. Tantra helps you to accept everything. It does not tell you like a yoga you must not have pleasure, or you must not enjoy nice food, you must not enjoy your life, you must not enjoy your senses. It tells you, it just makes you everything whatever you do, how you can use it as a sadhana, as your spiritual growth. Even you are having a pleasure with your partner, how you can use it in your spiritual growth, to know much more deeper aspect which lies within you, how you can use it. So Tantra means a technology, and these technologies can be very small things, like I will tell you very small examples, like even I'm using the small dot here. This is also Tantra, which helps me to connect with a certain type of energy. You might have seen some people they use red color, some people they use white color, some people they use red color or black color. Everything has its own meaning, the significance into it. So all basically, even the Tantra and the yoga lead us to the same thing, lead us to the nirvana itself. Thus the difference is the Tantra is more acceptance, the everything in a way of experiencing at the same time, where the yoga is more like distancing themselves, a renunciating way, and completely detached from the world and then realizing it. Completely dropping it. But Tantra tells you can enjoy it, but still you can live in a state of detachment. That is a very foundation of Tantra is. So friends, if you have any kind of questions, please write me below. You can comment or you can email me, and we will make a next video for you or I will privately write you. If I feel you need a private answer, I will write you. But sometimes your questions can also help to other people. So it will be very helpful for other people if you just can question. And I will do my best to get the answer. Thank you.